So I'm out running errands today and I overheard the customer in front of me giving the cashier some financial advice. And to be honest with you, I thought it was some of the worst financial advice that somebody could give to someone, especially because the cashier was young, he was impressionable, and I didn't want it to influence how he actually moved in the future from a financial perspective. But I wanted to quickly make a video just to talk about some of the advice, some of the types of people that I would recommend that most people never take advice from. The very first type of person is the you can't take it with you type person. You've all heard that, right? You have someone that you know that you've heard say, oh, well, you know what? You can save and invest, but you could pass away tomorrow and you can't take it with you. Well, that's true on the surface. We never really know when our number is up here on this earth. But why take that type of financial risk just because you don't know what tomorrow brings? What if you have a family? You don't want to leave a legacy for your family. You don't want to leave things behind for your kids or for your wife or your husband. So that's number one. I think that's completely irresponsible to think that way. And these are the type of people, right, that always have financial issues. They always need to borrow money. And if you tell them no, they jump on Facebook or Instagram and they make that post about how always support each other, how you can't depend on anybody but yourself. You know what I'm talking about. These are the type of people that go out, spend money recklessly, and then they come to you whenever they need to take care of their business. And usually what I tell people is don't go out and be irresponsible with your money and then come back and double back and want to be responsible with mine. It's not going to work that way. It never has and it never will. Now, the second type of person that I would never take advice from is the person that says college is a scam. You hear that a lot these days. College is a scam. It's a waste of money. You don't need a college degree. Now, I think there's a little bit of truth to that on the surface, but when you dig a little bit deeper, I don't believe that, right? If you're going to school and you're going $150,000 in debt for an underwater basket weaving degree, then yes, it's a waste of time and a waste of money. But if you're going to school and you're going into a STEM program, science, technology, engineering, or math, then I think that that's when college is extremely beneficial. And I'll even take it a step further. If you're someone like me who had to pay for your own college, you didn't have scholarships or you didn't have parents that were able to pay for you to go to school, I would recommend that you go to community college or junior college for the first 2 years and take all of your elective classes that transfer over to a 4-year institution and then transfer for your last 2 years to a traditional college and get that STEM degree. Now, I think that's a cost beneficial way for you to go to college and pay for it on your own, but that's just my opinion. College is a place where you can network, you can meet future leaders of tomorrow. And I can't tell you how many times that I've went into professional places. Someone's went to the same school as me. We have the same alma mater. We talked about it. And then we've been able to make a connection and either work together from a business perspective, or maybe they know someone that's hiring, especially whenever I needed a job. So college is definitely not a scam as long as you go about it the right way. Now, the third type of person that I would never take advice from, this is the type of person that's always trying to get you off your game, especially when you are passionate about something, whether that's creating YouTube videos, whether that's investing, whether it's investing in a business, thinking about going back to school, whatever it is. This type of person will always try to discourage you, right? You're working too hard. You got to take time off. You got to have fun. Then they go back to the first thing that we talked about. You only live once. I know somebody that did X, Y, Z, and then a year later, they passed away. Don't listen to these type of people. If you're passionate about something, you have a goal in mind that you want to hit, you got to block out everybody that's not going down that same path with you or supporting you going down that path in order to hit your goals. We never know when our time is up, but why not take advantage of the time that we have here? Especially if you're passionate about something, you have a goal, you want to hit it. Why are you not going to continue down that path to get to where you want to be? Because ultimately, the people that think like this are never really that successful. And I think it bothers them that you're working so hard towards your goals and they don't have that same ambition and that same drive that you do. The next type of advice and the person that I wouldn't listen to, and I'm guilty of this, I did this for a while, is that I never had it when I was growing up. Now, true, like most people that were in the working class in the 80s growing up, I didn't have a lot. We didn't take vacations. We rarely ever had a family car. We didn't get to do the things that I'm able to do now for my family. And for the longest time, I used that as an excuse. I used that as a crutch. And that was the reason why I enabled myself in my mind to spend the money that I didn't need to spend. I needed to go on those trips all the time because, hey, I was never able to do that as a kid. But as I gotten older, I started to realize, and my wife even mentioned this, she was like, I think you've kind of, that excuse has run its course. And it's true. And I haven't used it in so long, and I never used that as part of my decision-making process. But there's so many people out there that touch money for the first time. And it doesn't have to be a bunch of money, but more money than they ever had growing up or were around when they were growing up. And that's the excuse that they use to be irresponsible with their money. So never take that type of advice from people. Are there things that you want to do when you first start getting a little bit of money or starting to figure things out? Sure. But I think there needs to be a finite timeline that you can use that as an excuse or a crutch to be irresponsible with your money. And the last type of person that you never want to take advice from or listen to is that person that always tries to shame you for not wanting to go out and spend your money recklessly. It sounds crazy when you talk about it out loud, but there are people out there that will literally try to shame you or make fun of you or make you feel bad because you don't want to go out and spend money recklessly like they do. We all know somebody that does this, right? It's like, oh, well, he doesn't want to spend any money, or, oh, she never spends any money. And they say that like it's negative. But if you have the same mindset that I have, we think that they're crazy. We think, why the hell would I listen to anything that you have to say when you're either broke all the time or you have financial issues consistently? Why am I going to listen to that type of thing? I don't know, guys. I was in the store today. I overheard that conversation. I just wanted to quickly jump on here, get my thoughts off, because there are people out here that are giving or receiving terrible advice from people that should not be giving advice in the first place. I don't know. What do you guys think? What is some advice or types of people that you've encountered throughout your life from a financial or a career perspective where you're just like, yeah, that advice is not something that I'm ever going to listen to? Leave a comment down below and let me know.